There we go. If I play that intro long enough, I don't have to even do the show. If I could play it, I bet I could play it for an hour. But people have that
Tom,
remote.
what's the show about?
Well, I'll tell you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Guitar Tom. They call me that because I'm often seen with the guitar. And they call me on the phone. They say, "Hey, man, what's your show about?" And I say, "Well, my show is about an hour. It's about guitar players, guitar playing, all things guitaristic. That's what it's about. It's about an hour, and about guitars, and or related topics. You know, like. But if you want to, call the number that occasionally appears on your screen. Ask a question about how to play the guitar, the care and feeding of your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you. You want to talk about some related topic like the guitarrón, the guitarra, lutes, uds, vihuelas, banjos, balalaikas, bazookas, bajos, sextos, tiples, cavaquinhos, ukuleles, banjolins, mandolins, mandoras, mandolas, cellos, pipe organs, piccolos, cuatros, cavaquinhos. I say lutes, uds, vihuelas. I don't know if I've even said that yet, but it doesn't matter. Anything musical, ocarinas, accordions, harmoniums, harpsichords, harmonicas, harps. If you want to, auto harps or pixie harps or Celtic harps or Irish harps, or you could talk about clarinets or clavinets or whatever. I mean, anything, okay? Trombones, trombamarinas, cornetos, coronets, clavinets. You want to talk about politics, world events, your own personality problems. That's fine, we're here for you. Just keep it clean. This is a family program. How was that?
I think we left out xylophones and zithers.
Yeah, xylophones and zithers, yeah. I got to look up and see if there's any instrument that starts with two A's, or at least A-B. I mean, there are A-B things, I think, but let's see. Nah, I can't think of anything.
If the aardvark were an instrument, it would work.
Yeah. Well, my brother, years and years ago, worked with a guy named Bob Block, who's no longer with us. But Bob Block was a recorder expert and taught to recorder, but he was a musicologist, composer. And but they learned they could make Renaissance flutes that sounded really good out of plastic PVC pipe called sewer flutes. They're made out of polyvinyl chloride tubing, which they use for plumbing. And they call the Aardvark Flute Works in their ad and everything, because Aardvark has two A's. And yeah, so turn that on. And sorry, I'm becoming distracted by other people's headphone issues, not my own. But anyway, so there's Aardvark Flute Works, so they could be the first in Renaissance flute makers in the Yellow Pages, and they were, and the last. But anyway, so.
You look in the Yellow Pages, they always start out with somebody that's AAA, this, that, or something else.
That's right. Especially have quadruple A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just have Tom's Guitar Studio. Is that a plug?
Sure. Well, if we're going to plug something, we ought to say where you're going to be this weekend.
Well, this weekend, I'm going to be Friday and Saturday. I'll play at the Tuscan Moon in beautiful downtown Kelowna at my regular time. Supposed to be there at 6, so I'll be late, maybe 6:30, maybe a little later than that even. I recommend getting reservations. Play till about 10 usually. So a nice little restaurant in downtown Kelowna, about 20 miles or less south of Iowa City, on Highway 1, or you can go to 218 to Highway 22. It's very easy to get there. It's not far. It's in the Amish country, so watch out for the buggies and watch your step when crossing the street. And then, so Friday, Saturday night, 6:30 or so, maybe a little later. And then Sunday at 10:30, Journey Church in Coralville off of Oakdale Boulevard. Easy to find, Journey Church. Very liberal establishment. And I'm not personally religious, but I help out with the music and the music for them. Monday, I'm actually going to be playing at a wine, as a pairing. I don't know actually what they're pairing. Maybe they're using paring knives and things you can peel. I don't know. It's a pairing at the Big Grove Brewery. And I don't know if they've sold all the tickets or whatever. In these events, they have pairings. But Big Grove Brewery in Solon, Iowa. Hoping to have a good time there. I think I start at 6:15, actually. I think maybe the real festivities start about 6:30. But
that's Monday night on the main drag in Solon?
Yeah, right there, yeah. Right down there. You know where that is.
I know where that is.
Yeah. So I played there once before.
Well, the main grocery store in town, there's a big public parking lot between the grocery store and the brew pub. And
Yeah. So it's not hard to find either. You just either way, Kelowna.
if you find
or
Solon, it's pretty easy to find the brew pub.
That's right. Just like if you find Kelowna, it's pretty easy to find the Tuscan Moon because it's right there it says business district, and you turn there. But anyway, so the main street there in Solon, I'm there on Monday night, and then Tuesday, next week, we will not be having Tom's Guitar Show as such. It'll probably be a rerun. I don't know what we're going to do. If somebody's going to figure something out. But we're having our annual meeting at the Mill Restaurant. And it's not exactly open to the public. If there's a well-wisher that really believes in us and wants to show up and stuff. If you are a PATV producer, past or present, and you'd like to be there and counted, and say be there. It's at the Mill Monday night. I think it's really starts at 7:30 or something like the festivities. A pizza. I'm going to play guitar for a slideshow apparently of. Life and Times of PATV, a bunch of pictures of us. And
if anyone would like to be a PATV producer, they should come on down to the corner of South Dubuque and Lafayette. Right. And there are classes that'll teach you to be one.
That's right. All I have to do is take guidelines, and you can be a producer. If you want to, get checked out on all the equipment, all the cameras and the editing equipment and everything, you take classes. And you'll be a fully trained one. Also, the advantage to PATV over just doing YouTube videos is we have 3 cameras here, 2 camera operators, a new guy over here, and
we'll have you introduce yourself in a little bit.
Yeah, and we have a guy back there directing. So we have crew. You see, we have lights, we have a green screen. This is actually not. Bob is not actually standing. Bob is not actually like really big and standing behind me. Bob is standing over there, and we have a camera on him. And he's in the green screen behind me. The set that I'm on here is all fake. And you can have whatever you want. I've done different things in the past.
Yeah, I remember when you were standing in the river during the flood.
That's right. I was standing in the river for a while. So we're having our annual meeting. So that's Tuesday. So I guess I'm busy Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday. And Wednesday I'll be... just teaching and stuff. Go up to Coe College up there, and.
But for those who want to see you, Friday and Saturday night at the Tuscan Moon in Kelowna, and Monday night at the Brew Pub in Solon.
That's right. And church too. If you want to go to church, man. If you want to be accepted in whatever your issues are, I suppose there's no place friendlier than the Journey Church in Coralville there. The northern side, I think you could probably see the North Liberty border I don't know exactly where it is, but it's up there right by the Oakdale Classification Center. So if you're just getting out of jail, or never mind. That's my testimony. So okay, this guitar, I think I might have brought this on the show. I think I brought this on the show last week. This is fairly new to me, actually. This is a Taylor electric classical guitar. It's actually a much less expensive one, and it's made in Mexico. Has all the Taylor stuff. And Mexico isn't, that far from California. It's like there's sort of a vague line between the two. And so this. I think you're having some problems over there. That's not my problem, is it? No. Okay. I'm just here for the guitar. All right. So this one, it's a great guitar, but I was having problems getting the sound I wanted. And I have a thing. It's called a Sonic Stomp. It's the BBE Sonic Maximizer. And it just kind of straightens out the electronics. So if I push the button and turn it off, the guitar sounds like... It's okay, but it's a little bit light in the bass, kind of muted, not very interesting. If I kick the thing, which is not an effect, it's just it's a conditioner. I find that quite beautiful, actually, that tone. It's, you know, I find that quite lovely. So it's called a Sonic Maximizer. I bought it used. I don't know what I spent on it, but I looked them up online. They're like $99.99, like $100. And so, you know, there's all this stuff you can do with sound, man. I'm almost getting so corrupted now that I'm not happy with just an acoustic guitar in a nice room. Actually, I haven't been in a nice room for a while, but I like electricity. Well, I like all kinds of guitars. This is an acoustic electric nylon string guitar. So electric classical guitar has a really big body, a bigger lower bow than normal. And it's, but, you know, if it's not plugged in, not amplified, it's actually not that loud. But when it is, it's, anyway, it's been interesting, responsive guitar. People ask me why I need so many guitars, and they all have a different voice. Like why, you know, if you're a carpenter, why do you need so many tools? You know? Because they all do different things, man. I wouldn't take this guitar with me to some loud, obnoxious bar to play a gig. I haven't checked my loop yet.
Hang on.
I haven't checked my looper yet. I just got out of a bag. Oh yeah, yeah. So, why don't you tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm at the University of Iowa, and I'm just here to volunteer for a class, so helping out with whatever I can.
Okay, and you're gonna get like it's gonna help you with your scholastic achievements and stuff.
Yes, yes.
So you get experience and. Okay, well, a lot of people have. A whole lot of people have gone through this show because you think the advantage of this show is it's very boring, and it's just some guy standing around, you know, playing guitar, talking to Bob, and it's not a whole lot of excitement. There's like, if you have to do like a basketball game or something like that, you got to move that camera all the time. So here it's only one thing I say about this is that I'm not really very interesting looking. I don't think I'm not, you know. I'm told that I used to be cute a really long time ago. I've been told that by, they're probably just, you know, trying to flatter me or something or make me feel better about myself. But
the hat helps.
But yeah, but the guitars, you know, I think are interesting looking and like technique and how you play them. I think so. That's why I say, you know, look, you know, do whatever the director tells you to do. But of course, you know, like look at the strings and fingerboards and you know, fingers. Well, glad to have you aboard, Chris. You gonna be around for a while, you think, or?
Yeah, for a month or so. Yeah, I'll be probably helping out here.
Yeah.
A couple more times too.
A couple more times, okay. Yeah. Well, next week you get the week off, but
you
can come to our annual meeting.
I think so.
Yeah. There's no think, just do. Anyway,
yeah.
Same time, but at the mill. And then you can.
So if anybody else would like to learn how to make a TV show.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If anybody else wants to learn how to make a TV show, come on down and.
All right.
Take classes, volunteer. You know how to. You know what you're doing already? Have you done some video production stuff? Have you?
Not so much. I just started last week.
Okay. Well, you learn. You hang around for a while. You'll get a lot of experience.
I hope so.
I mean, yeah, it's good. Learn how to hold a camera still too, and remember, tripod.
All right.
These phone things are, you know. Anyway, yeah. Well, good to have you aboard. So.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, all right. I guess I'll play something then. So, anyway, where were we? Oh, yeah. I'm using Electro Harmonix 360 looper. I have two pedals on the floor. So there's something about the world as we know it, the guitar world as we know it, is that well, it's basically electricity. As far as I know, electricity is here to stay. So I have my looper, and then I have there seems to be some problems here. There we go. We're having yeah. Well, there's my loopers. Anyway, over here on your left, my right, is a Electro Harmonix 360 looper. Fairly new. Electro Harmonix is out of New York City, which is kind of cool. It's made in the U.S. And over here, on your right, my left, the red thing is a Sonic Stomp, which is just what's making my sound kind of come alive and not be sort of muted and everything like that. So the Electro Harmonix stuff is really interesting. They have a whole lot of different sort of they have all kinds of different pedals. They keep coming out with new stuff, all kinds of wild stuff. I have a few. I brought the B9 organ pedal here a few weeks ago. I'll bring it back here in a couple of weeks. The makes your guitar sound like an organ, like an electric organ. But this one's a looper, and it has interesting features. It's also extremely high quality sampling. The sound that comes out sounds really just like the guitar. You don't lose anything from the recording it. And the way the looper works is you nice little quiet. See, so I'm not playing anymore. That's just. Anyway, so I don't need a second guitarist. I found that second guitarists are difficult to have, The
little electronic boxes always show up on time and sober.
That's right. I just put it in I put it in a little bag and take it with me, and then I don't need to worry about it. Other guitar players can have serious issues. Moody people, the guitar players, and the fact that I'm see, the one thing about me, and I don't want to blow my own horn, but I have many failings as a human being, obviously. We all do, and maybe me more than some, but I will show up 5 minutes late, but sober and ready to work. And I don't let any of my personal issues, my personal issues are generally guitars don't sound right. I have like a little rattle, a buzz, a hum, something like that, And the kind of nightmares I have is I'm going out on a stage in front of like hundreds of people, and I get my guitar out of the case, and it's all like broken to shreds, or it's like it's like matchsticks, basically, or toothpicks or whatever like that. But somehow miraculously it still plays. I occasionally have the dream where I go out in front of everybody and I've forgotten how to play entirely, stuff like that. But usually it's an equipment failure is my usual thing, or I play the gig and I can't find my car. These are my dreams, my nightmares. I'm carrying all this heavy amp and everything like that, and I can't find my car in the parking ramp. That's another one of my. See, I don't have these other things like there's scary monsters chasing me, anything like that. It's always, my personal problems are all guitar related. So, anyway. So I don't want to belabor the point here too much. I have this guitar, and I think this guitar is sounding really good. The way I have it set up now. I've got the sound I want, full and rich. also have another amp which is similar to the one I'm using, but bigger. Well, I'll do this little loop and I'm going to switch guitars here. Anyway, so I like this guitar a lot. But so what? What are we going to do with the rest of the show? Well, I'm going to play a different guitar. So this is a Taylor. And over here, I've got the Breedlove. But don't you fall over now. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Maybe I should have pulled it out a little farther. So this guitar here, very similar animal. It's a electric nylon string, electric classical guitar. Where's it on here somewhere? Oh, there we go. Sorry. I'll find a little. Just let's scrape it all up. No, I don't. I'm careful, but. with this treble here. Nobody knows the treble I've seen. Well, I'm having a good time, except that sound really well balanced at home, but that first string doesn't sound as loud as the other ones. Yeah, treble, volume. So I was wondering if it's me or if it's the guitar. So also the strings are not the kind I would use. Well, might as well play something since I got the thing out. This is a Breedlove. This is the only nylon string guitar I think they make. And this, like the other one, I think the electronics are Fishman, and their thing is finished in the U.S. Is that making a noise? Is that me? Hang on a second. I hear something. No, it's not coming out of my amp.
Getting home from somewhere.
Yeah, but it's not coming out of my amp. Something's humming, but I don't think it's me. Here, now I'm just gonna turn it off.
Must be part of the building. Yep, the hum's still there.
Ha! See, I'm paranoid. I don't want things to sound bad. My whole life is based on trying to sound good. That's all I do. I mean, I eat and sleep and stuff.
Well, this we can blame on PATV.
Maybe it's upstairs. We can blame it on Uptown Bills. Well, turn everything down just a little bit. That's not as loud. I'm having a good time playing this guitar for everything, like... So if I play this note, it sounds like this. But this note sounds like... It's not as loud. I'm playing the same, you know... I'm hitting the strings as hard. Those all sound about the same. Yeah. See, I've been through so many things with little rattles, buzzes, and hums that I'm starting to think that maybe I'm losing my grip on reality. But I think, objectively speaking, anybody could would say that this note is louder than this note. And yeah. All right. Well, you know, I don't actually, you know, this isn't, I'm not committed to this guitar yet. I'm committed to that guitar and a few others that I may have, like a few dozen, I suppose. Yeah, 60, I don't know. But this one seems to have an issue with the... And the one thing about this is its shape. It's really easy to play. It's balanced in such a way that it's really easy to hold, you know, in a classical guitarist kind of way. It has a USB output, so you can plug it right into a computer. It's like, you know, it's like ready to, you plug it into, like a little, like, you know, MacBook Air, for instance. And with GarageBand, you can record, you know, you can record everything. Just plug it into your computer, and it's ready to go, which is really cool. You know, no jiggery pokery fooling. This is ready to go for everything. So, except this particular guitar, for some reason, has issues. So, so fine. Now that I know that, I'm going to stop playing it. And I'm going to do something else just because I can. Yeah.
While you're doing that, maybe I will bring up politics, world events, and my own personality problems.
Why don't you put a camera on that guy over there? Because I'm gonna actually put this guitar back in a bag and do some other things here. I'm going to do my thing and let Bob take over for a little while here.
Okay, I have a couple pieces of the Gazette here about the recent election in Iowa. The outside spending in support of Joni Ernst was $8.6 million. Outside spending against Joni Ernst was $16 million. Outside spending in support of Bruce Braley was $1.1 million. Outside spending against Bruce Braley was $11.3 million. $19.9 million total spending for Ernst or against Braley. $17.1 million for Braley or against Ernst. And there was an update this past Sunday. Now, part of it was that the outside money that came into Iowa was about $57.50 per vote, and it was enough to fund the United Way budgets in Iowa for 6 years. Let me see. Democratic senatorial campaign spent $9.9 million. National Republican senatorial campaign spent $7.1 million. The two groups combined to raise more than $11 million in California and roughly $12 million in New York. And Massachusetts donors kicked in $4.5 million. The Senate Majority PAC, a liberal group that spent $5.3 million in Iowa, got $2 million from Michael Bloomberg. American Crossroads, a conservative super PAC, spent $5 million in Iowa. And it has $1 million plus donors from California, Kentucky, Arkansas, New York, and Texas. So lots of out-of-state money buying votes in Iowa for the last couple weeks.
Yeah. Pardon me while I wrestle this quiz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
hear me
let's,
from-
I'll put a camera on you. We'll watch you wrestle your...
Well, it shouldn't take long. Let's find something to plug it into. Here we go. I'm just trying to switch amps over here. Let's see. Okay, I need to do this. I'll plug this. I'll plug this into here. And this into here. And this into here. Okay. So, oh yeah, I plug the guitar in. So I had been playing various guitars through a Fishman Loudbox Mini, which is a very small amp with a pretty big voice. This amp is a tiny little Fender Acoustasonic, so that's a pretty small amp. This is a tiny amp. I'd say teeny tiny, but that sounds kind of funny, you know. Oh, I should have plugged in the amp. Yeah. More bass, maybe. Okay, and kind of interesting sound. Thing about this amp is it's a lot. It's a smaller and significantly less expensive amp. It's the baby of the Acoustasonics Fender's acoustic guitar amp line. But it doesn't have any reverb on it. And I like reverb, as you could probably tell. I just put a little bit of chorus. It comes with chorus, but not reverb. So if I push this pedal here, that turns off my reverb. Turn it on.
Give me a little bit more warning.
Give me a little what?
A little bit more warning.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry. I mean, I have a Modtone Coliseum reverb, which I just plugged in. So now I have three pedals. Here is a Modtone Coliseum reverb, which causes me to have reverb. If I turn it off, it sounds like this. Okay? And this makes it sound like I'm in a great big concert hall. And of course, this is my Electro-Harmonix looper, 360 looper, and this over here is my Sonic Stomp, which makes it sound a little better. See what it... Not very interesting, but I'm going to crank that up a little bit. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, I suppose I should play something here. It's easy to tune if you don't have reverb. Tom's Tuning Show. So, and we could talk about the weather, too. Of course...
I think winter's here.
Yeah. Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. But, yeah, in the wee hours of the morning, I heard this tappity-tap on my window pane. And it appeared to be sleet or something. Some chunks of ice coming out of the sky, blowing. I thought, well, this is it. But
we apparently got off easy compared to northern Minnesota and Wisconsin, and North Dakota, and up that way.
They got like a foot of snow, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said over around the Great Lakes they were expecting 18 inches with that lake effect snow.
Yeah. Well, that's how things go up there, you know. Yeah. I don't mind the snow as long as I don't have to go anyplace. I mean, you know, I guess most people feel that way. I mean,
not a problem until you have to dig yourself out.
Right, and then driving sideways is something I don't like to do. I like the car to go forward or backwards, but only when I want it to. I'd like to go forward and have it go where I point it. You know, where not where it where the forces of nature take it. You know what I'm saying? And occasionally you'll get your wheel in a groove in the snowpack, and it'll just...
Or year before last, when I was trying to come home from my winter road trip, I spent 3 nights in Gillette, Wyoming, because I-90 was closed across South Dakota.
Yeah. How were things in Gillette, anyway?
Not very exciting.
I see. Huh.
When you've seen the Pizza Hut, the Subway, and the Walmart...
I guess that's about it.
Somewhere around there's a coal mine that supports the town, but...
I see. I guess you didn't get a chance to see that.
No,
Might be warm down there. I don't know. But so you had your choice between Pizza Hut and Subway, basically, for meals and stuff.
Oh, there was a couple other things. It wasn't quite that bad, but
yeah. But of course you got to spend money, and you know. Yeah, I guess I was stuck in Salt Lake City for a weekend once because my car broke down in Wyoming, and I had it towed to Salt Lake City. It was the closest place where I could get the radiator fixed. And so I was in a motel, Salt Lake City, with a view of the parking lot of a convenience store where the derelicts were hanging out. It was amazing, nice to see that they had derelicts hanging out in the parking lot of a convenience store, gas station, whatever, in Salt Lake City, just like everywhere else. But city people, but yeah, I hate that, you know.
Well, judging by all the payday loan companies in Salt Lake City, there probably is a lot of economic problems out there.
Yeah. Well, the Mormon Church itself is like a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
They have a corporation there, and they're very good about investing in Mormon enterprises. So they apparently I was reading about that. They make a lot of money, and they invest money in other Mormon businesses, and of course it comes back into the church. So it's a very commercially successful religion, but it doesn't necessarily translate to all the people. Not everybody's a Mormon, I guess. But yeah, getting stuck somewhere is no fun. But if you have a room in a motel, that's a good step.
Yeah.
And if you have a way to eat and everything, that's nice.
Yeah.
If you can eat, sleep, stay warm and clean, you know.
Yeah.
They probably had satellite TV or something, I guess. You know.
Well, not always. 3 or 4 years ago, we got stuck by an ice storm down in Lubbock, Texas.
Uh-huh.
So we thought, well, we'll go see the Buddy Holly Museum, which was closed because of the ice storm.
I see.
And the TV and the phone were out. There was a Walmart across the highway, though, so we went over and got a couple books.
Yeah. Well, you know, if you have a book,
Yeah.
and a pretty good flashlight.
Well, we had light.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
Just no phone and no TV.
Yeah.
No internet.
One year, a long, long, long time ago, I lived in a mobile home, and there was a controversy. We were going to go on to city gas as opposed to like LP gas.
Yeah.
But they ran out of LP gas. And so for about a day, there was no heat. And it was very, very cold winter, and it was a trailer, you know.
Yeah.
Like my house, if the heat went off, it would probably stay fairly warm for a while. I mean, and we could probably light the stove and a few candles, and it would be, you know, wouldn't be that bad probably. But a trailer, a little metal box out in the wind.
I lived in one of those for a while. And in the summertime, if the air conditioning goes out.
Yeah. Well, I came home one time. I had these candles, you know, and sticks. And they melted. So, yeah, that wasn't. I think you could do it right. You know, you could live in a trailer and have all the insulation right and stuff, maybe. But I lived in funky old trailers, so I lived in 2 of them in my life. One time I was at Paul's Discount, though, and they had this little cork board out front where they people post things for sale.
Yeah.
And it was an older Airstream trailer for like $5,000. And I thought, wow, because those are pretty well insulated and stuff, and they're supposed to be pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, if I'd like to leave it somewhere, you know, if I could leave it somewhere out in the country, somewhere nice, if I could get to easily enough. There's that show, Northern Exposure, which I used to watch when it was in reruns. The guy was a disc jockey, the character, he had an Airstream trailer out somewhere in the woods is where he lived. And I always thought, yeah, I'd like to have one like by a lake or, you know, or river, but up, you know, up the hill.
Yeah.
You know, or not. I don't ever want to live in a trailer again, of any kind. I'll just. There's this idea about living in a condo, which sounds like fun, but I have a funky old house, but there's a little bit of distance around it, and apartments and stuff.
And you don't have neighbors walking on your ceiling.
Right. I've been over at people's, like, you know, cracker box apartments.
Yeah.
And you can hear with, you know, people's stereos upstairs and people walking around and, you know, and I don't think I'm not that loud here what I'm doing now, you know. But if
I probably wouldn't want to live in an apartment next door to you.
No, because or upstairs or downstairs or whatever, because I get these ideas in the middle of the night. I want to play stuff, you know, and sometimes I play the banjo, and I guess it's. Of
course, I guess an electric guitar you could play into earphones.
That's true, because I do actually keep it pretty quiet. I mean, I don't live alone, so you know, my wife is. I stay up later than she does, and I play guitar, and a lot of times I find that it's really wonderful to practice in headphones because you get this big, rich, lush sound with all these little pedals and stuff I've been showing people tonight, you know. But you plug those into a mixer or something, or most amplifiers have a headphone jack now, so you just plug into the amplifier, and sometimes some sound better than others. But with a decent set of headphones, you can hear this bright, big, you know, you're in the middle of a big cathedral playing, but, you know, nobody can hear you. This guitar, of course, has some sound. I have other guitars, like solid body electrics, both nylon string and you know, regular metal string electric guitars, that don't sound like much of anything at all when they're not, you know, when you're not plugged in. When they're not amplified, it's just little, you know. So I can make great big sounds and stuff, and nobody has to hear it. I know this show's almost over. I've been goofing off. Anyway, I think this sounds pretty good too. It's not quite as, doesn't have as much bass, but it's pretty with a little reverb. It's a small amp. be having the show next week. Have the annual meeting of PATV. It'll be an event. But, you know, I'll be back the week after that. We'll put something on in this, sorry, missed the chord.
You'll probably be able to see us next week, but we won't answer the phone.
Yeah. We didn't answer this week.